Hi guys, welcome back again. Today we're going to go over my Nintendo Switch collection up to this point. It's been a little over a year. I wanted to do a 1 year anniversary show, kind of showing you what I've accumulated in that first year, go over my thoughts with some of the games, what I think of the system in general, and see what you guys think about it. So here we go. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Okay, so first off, we'll start with the console and the controllers. As you can see, I do have two of the consoles. I've got the one with the gray Joy-Cons, and I have one with the neon Joy-Cons, as well as two Pro controllers. I don't have any of the special editions right now. I was hoping that they would release a Zelda special edition, but they didn't. I'll probably pick up one later on when they start to come down in price, just to add to my collection. But so far I really enjoy the Switch. It's been one of my favorite systems in a long time. I think the games are fantastic. The ability to take it on the go is a really smart move by Nintendo, especially because they have a corner on the handheld market. It was a really good way for them to kind of dip into both markets without alienating their customer base. And so far, it's obviously exceeded expectations, and I think it's going to continue to do so, especially if they keep having a strong lineup of games, which I think they do. So starting off with the games that I have collected for the Switch so far, and this doesn't include digital, I do have some indie games downloaded digitally on my console, but these are my physical games, because as a collector I prefer the physical over digital. And the first game is Doom. I, like everybody else, was surprised to see this on a Nintendo console. This is the first time that I played it. I thought it was fantastic running on the Switch, even at a lower resolution. The game is fun, it runs great. I had a fantastic time with it. Next game is Lego City Undercover. I haven't had a chance to play much of this game, but from what I have played so far, it is enjoyable. I can see why they say it's close to like a Lego Grand Theft Auto open world game. Very fun. I will play more of it in the future though. L.A. Noire, another game that I wasn't expecting to ever be on a Nintendo console. Very interesting game. I haven't finished it yet, but I played through a bit of it. I like it so far. What I have played has been really good. Runs great on the Switch. Really good addition, especially having a Rockstar game. Has-Been Heroes, I picked this up near the beginning of the Switch's life cycle. Haven't played much of it. It's not my type of game for the most part. I'm not big into role-playing games or those tactical combat games, but it is nice to have in the collection. The Binding of Isaac. I have never played this game before it came to the Switch, and I wanted to get it. I had a fun time with this game. I love twin-stick shooters, and this game obviously is really different in that sense, kind of gross, but fun nonetheless. I did end up finishing it a couple times. I love just going back and replaying this difficult game, but super fun. 1-2 Switch, another game that I picked up near the launch. Obviously a different type of game. I don't know if I'd qualify it so much as a game. By itself, or by yourself, I wouldn't consider it, offering too much. But this is one of those games when you're with your friends, especially if you've had a few drinks and you guys are acting crazy. It is fun to play. It kind of gets a lot of grief for that, but in the right circumstances, it can be a really fun experience. Next one is Puyo Puyo Tetris. I love this game. I'm a big Tetris fan, always have been since it came out. I had never really been a Puyo Puyo fan, just for the main reason that I hadn't played it much. I really like this version. I like how it switches between the two and you can battle against each other in whatever mode you choose. A lot of fun. I'll go back and play this every once in a while, especially just for the Tetris game. Moving on, we got Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Probably my surprise game so far of the Nintendo Switch's library. I absolutely love this game. I didn't know what I was going to think going in because tactical turn-based games aren't really my thing. But I love this game. I had so much fun going through it and finishing it. I will get the DLC when it comes out just because I really want to experience more of it. Next one is Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. I wasn't sure what to expect with this. I have these on the 3DS, though I never had the chance to finish them. But I am a big Resident Evil fan, especially the older style, because that's what I grew up with. And this seems more akin to those. Eerie, good combat. I really enjoyed these. I would play them again just to go through the story one more time. Next is Super Bomberman R. I picked this up at launch again. I'm a huge Bomberman fan as well. I played a lot, especially the Super Nintendo ones are my favorite ones. When it first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of this one, but since they've patched it, it has really improved the game a lot. The game is fundamentally way better than when it launched. So if you haven't had the chance to pick it up, especially now it's a little bit cheaper, I would get it. It's a good overall game, especially if you have more than one player with you. Next game is Soldam. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I picked it up. It was cheap on sale. I think I got it for 20 bucks. It's a puzzle game, almost somewhat, close to Puzzle Bobble, I guess, in a sense, but not as fun. It's just in my collection simply because of the price. But I mean, it's an okay game. It's just nothing stellar by any means. Next one is Snipperclips Plus. This is another game that I got at launch, at least the original version. It was really fun to play with my wife. We don't play a lot of games together anymore because I think she finds them too difficult, but as two-player co-op, this was one of the best games that we've played together. This is the Plus version, so it's got additional puzzles, everything from the first. Really fun if you've never done it before. Even the single player I really enjoy. Just a unique all-around puzzle gameplay. Next up is Skyrim. What can be said about Skyrim? Everybody's played it. It's been on multiple systems, but the fact of being able to play it portably was a big selling point. It runs fantastic. It's a great game all around. It's Skyrim. What more can be said? Next up is ARMS, which is a competitive fighter. Very different, unique game from Nintendo. Kind of a little bit out of their norm for a new IP. But it is a fun game. I wasn't sure what to think of it when I first saw it in the Switch reveal, but it is a lot deeper than I was expecting, and it's really polished. Here we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, again, a port from the Wii U, including all the DLC that was included. I have the Wii U version with all the DLC, but the fact of getting this and playing it portably was, too much to pass up. Sometimes it's hard to believe that you're playing this on a portable system because it looks gorgeous and just runs so smooth. I can't believe how well this game has sold again. I'm looking forward to Mario Kart 9 now. Up next is Ultra Street Fighter 2, obviously a port of the classic arcade game. I grew up playing this in the arcades when it first came out. This game is completely faithful to it. It's a classic, especially if you're an old school Street Fighter 2 fan like myself. Great addition. Next is Rayman Legends, the Definitive Edition. This is a really well done platformer from Ubisoft. It was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive when it came out. Ended up going to other platforms. This is the full version. If you've never played it, it really is well done, especially the levels where it's coordinated with different music. Probably the best Rayman game that's ever been made. Here we have another Wii U port. This is Pokken Tournament DX, the deluxe version. This was on the Wii U. It's a fighting game with Pokemon, obviously. The controls in this and the gameplay is very fluid and very responsive. It really is a well-designed fighting game in general. It takes some getting used to. There are, a lot of different moves that you can do. It takes some expertise, but the game itself is fun. It's solid. The graphics are nice. Can't really say anything bad about this game. Next we have Splatoon 2. This game came out about midway through the Switch's launch, obviously improving on Splatoon for the Wii U in many different ways, adding new weapons, new arenas, different abilities for certain things. Fantastic multiplayer game. Probably one of the most fun games that Nintendo has ever made in the multiplayer sense. I still love the basis behind Splatoon 2. I'm not a big shooter fan, but I absolutely love this game. Next up is Kirby Star Allies. This game actually just released last week. Obviously a new entry in the Kirby series where you and 3 other friends can go through levels cooperatively. The computer can assist you. It's very different from the other Kirby games. And I'm not a huge Kirby fan. I've played through some. But this one, I had a lot of fun with it. It is super easy, but it's more for just the experience of playing it and having fun without an incredible challenge. The graphics, especially on a 4K TV, are just beautiful. So crisp and so vibrant. Really, really nice looking game. Here's another surprise game that I never thought I'd have in my Switch collection, and that's Dragon Quest Builders. I'm not a Minecraft fan by any means. I'm a little bit older. My son was a huge Minecraft person growing up, but I never really got into it. But when I saw the reviews about this, especially from people saying the same thing, but they really enjoyed this, I gave it a chance. It is a lot of fun. It's almost like a cross between Zelda and Minecraft. I've put probably 10 to 20 hours into it so far. It is really enjoyable. I probably will play some more of it as well. Next up is The End Is Nigh. This is a pretty dark and gritty platforming game, funny at times. I really like this game because I like the old school platformers with the increased difficulty, and that's what this is. Very simplistic, but good controls and very fun to play. Moving on, we have Bayonetta 2, another Wii U port. This one includes Bayonetta 1, the original. I love this game on the Wii U, and I love it just as much on the Switch. It runs fluidly, the bosses are fantastic, there's so much action going on sometimes, it's hard to keep track. But this is just a great all-around game. I cannot wait until Bayonetta 3 to see what they do with this series. Next is Fire Emblem Warriors. I had never played a Dynasty Warriors game until Hyrule Warriors came out, which I'm looking forward to the Switch version as well. But I did fall in love with them for what they are. Obviously, they're not the most realistic, where you're taking on thousands of enemies at a time, but I love them for what they're supposed to be, especially if it's a multiplayer game. This particular version, this Fire Emblem Warriors, I absolutely love the art style in this. I think it works so perfectly. It looks very Japanese anime. It's so beautiful to watch in motion. Next we have Super Mario Odyssey, probably the game that everybody who's watching this has. I grew up with Mario, obviously, from the 80s on. Super Mario 64 was, in my term, probably one of the most revolutionary games of all time. And this Super Mario Odyssey is, again, really setting the bar for what a Mario game can be. I was really impressed with all the different abilities, the capture mechanic, the levels were well designed. There's so much to do in this game. It can keep you busy for hours and hours and hours. I definitely need to go back and replay it some more. And finally, we're finishing off with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Probably the game that really started the Switch on its momentum that hasn't stopped yet. This game is obviously one of the best games ever made. Can't say enough about it. There's so much interesting stuff going on in this game. So much to see, so much to do. The physics are just absolutely unreal. The gameplay is fantastic. I don't really know what else to say about this. As a lifelong Zelda collector, I was so excited when this came out. It definitely didn't disappoint, and I definitely think it's one of the reasons the Switch is doing as well as it is right now, even though it was released on the Wii U. I think it was the Switch that really cast it into the limelight. Okay guys, so that's my 1-year anniversary look at the Switch. I'll probably do it again next year after the second year is complete and show you what I've added to my collection since then. This is probably the system that I've accumulated the most games within a short amount of time, just because I really enjoy playing this system so much. So does my son, who is usually a huge PlayStation fan but is slowly converted to a Switch fan full time. There's not much I can say about this system. I think it's going to continue to sell, especially with games like Metroid and Pokemon coming out, especially ones that haven't been announced. I think this system is going to continue for a very long time. So anyways, thanks for watching my video, guys. If you like it, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment and I will try and get back to you, and try and watch my other videos if you're interested. Thanks, guys.